Welcome to Vinex Studio. Let's start making games. Hi and welcome to another tutorial on Unity. Today we are going to see how to create a cutscene using Unity Cinemachine. Now you can also create a cutscene using scripts and cameras, but that is more tedious and Unity Cinemachine provides an easy way to create cutscenes. So to use Unity Cinemachine, first you have to install it. So go to Window, Package Manager, and make sure Unity Registry is selected and search for Cinemachine. And you'll get an install button here. I've already installed it, that's why I'm getting a remove button. So you'll be having an install button, install it. It will take some time, and once Unity Cinemachine is installed, you will see an option in the hierarchy called Cinemachine. Now the next step is to add virtual cameras. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from this fire, then take the camera somewhere here to the top in this view, then a little more top in this view. So that way the player will be able to see the whole arena using the cutscene. So when you add a virtual camera, Unity adds a Cinemachine brain component to your main camera also. So that way it will know which camera to render. Now let's add a virtual camera to the scene. So click on plus sign in the hierarchy, go to Cinemachine, virtual camera. So basically the virtual camera gets added from where you're looking at in the scene view. So it got added here. Now to add the next camera, first let's change the view in our scene. So I think that looks a little better. So I'm going to add one more virtual camera here. So Cinemachine virtual camera. So that's my second virtual camera. And for the third one, I'm going to make it look like this. Okay, so I'm going to Cinemachine virtual camera. Now I have to set up an animation so that the view moves from one camera to the other camera in a smooth way. So for that, Unity has something called as timeline. To create a timeline, you have to go to Window, Sequencing, Timeline, and this will open a timeline window. Let's have it here. Now select your main camera and click on Create, and we'll call this camera timeline. Let's save it. Now in the plus sign in the timeline window, click on Cinemachine track and then drag and drop your main camera to the Cinemachine brain component. Now drag and drop your virtual cameras. So you have three virtual cameras in the timeline. If you play it, you can see that the game view is displaying the virtual camera that is present in the timeline. And if no camera is present, it is showing a default view or the camera that is selected. Now this is not more of a cutscene because it's just displaying different cameras. Now to make it look like a cutscene, what you can do is drag these cameras. So I want to keep the view small, but I want to keep the transition more. So let's bring this here and let's merge both the cameras, something like this, and then make this a little smaller and merge these two cameras. Now let's see how the cutscene looks like. So if I play the cutscene, the camera is slowly transitioning from one camera to the other camera. So this way the cutscene looks much better. Now if you play the game, okay. Now if you don't want the cutscene to play as soon as the game starts and you want the cutscene to play based on some condition, then you need to create a C# script for that. So before we create a script, you have to select the camera and go to the playable director and uncheck play on awake. Next, click on add component and let's create a script. We'll call it cutscene controller. create an ad. Now let's open the script in Visual Studio for editing. In our script, first you have to add using Unity engine dot playables, and then you have to create a variable of type playable director. Let's call it director. Okay. In the start function, let's say director is equal to get component playable director. Okay. Now in the update, let's play the clip when the spacebar is pressed down. So let's say if input dot get button down, and in the brackets it will be gen, and let's say character dot play echo. So now let's go back to Unity. If we play the game, the timeline actually doesn't play, and if we press the space bar, it starts playing. So this is how you can use a trigger or an event to play a cutscene. For example, when the player loses health, you can play a cutscene, or the player transitions from one scene to next scene, you can then use a cutscene. Now this is how you can create a basic cutscene in Unity, and to record this cutscene, you can just play the game and use Unity Recorder. And if you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comment box below. Thank you and see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share.